Welcome back. One of our viewers, Festus from the United Kingdom, sent us a tweet about openness of governance and how, for instance, how his taxes were spent by the government of the United Kingdom. We'll just show you that, and our viewers will come down to the issue of, for instance, if you look at that slide, he talks about how his taxes are spent as regards health. I'm trying to find it here for me. Okay, so his money, his tax is about £7,696, and it goes to welfare, 1,870, health, 1,562, state pensions, £993, education, 947, national debt interest, 423, defense, 400, transport, 323. So all the way the housing and utilities, example, street lights, £115. So this person knows how much or how his £7,696 is shared in every sector of governance. Is that an example of openness that we're talking about? For instance, in Nigeria, we're still talking about 19 million people that are paying taxes. Do you think if other Nigerians know how their taxes are spent, they'll be more willing to pay taxes?
Yes, I believe so. If government is more open, more transparent, more accountable to the people, I believe that the people will want to take a bullet for the government itself.
Yes.
They'll be ready to die for the government. But the problem of Nigerians, from what I've seen in all my years in human rights activism, is that they are so docile, too cowardly. Everyone wants to stay in the comfort zone of his home. When you write and you speak, they say, oh boy, are you not afraid for your life? Whereas a goat, if you pursue a goat to the fence, to the wall, you will know for the first time that a goat can bite. It will turn around and bite you, the pursuer. But the average Nigerian, when you pursue him to the wall, rather than turn back to bite the assailant, he would rather break down the walls to further retreat because they do not want, according to them, wahala.
Okay,
that is a problem. We have to
you have been one of those. I mean, as a president of the Committee for Defense of Human Rights, you've been one of those who've left your comfort zones. You don't look like a docile Nigerian.
That's not even when I left my comfort zone.
From way back in school days. I know. We heard your story in the University of Nigeria.
I had the privilege of seeing your alma mater twice before I graduated. And it has continued. Comrade Leonard Stick and I were in the leadership of National JANCOM, Joint Action Committee of Nigeria.
trenches for years.
Have fought the military.
Yeah.
Now, please, let's situate this within some context and make a meaning out of it. And, you know, it ought not to be an appeal. It ought to be the responsibility of government, not just to be open, but to deal squarely with some of the aspects of our national life that have made life completely miserable for the larger percentage of the population. I reference Section 15, Subsection 5, which insists that government must fight corruption and any form of abuse of power. Now, if you ask the question where we are now, I'm sure the answer will, roll in as easily as the mail you have gotten. But my point here is that, the same way he talks about opaqueness, this indolence that we speak about, this weakness and cowardice that we talk about, isn't part of who we are really. It has been appropriated by the ruling elite as a major potent force against the people. And how was it done? You carefully must weaken the powers of these people who have the capacity not just to ask questions, but to effect a change. This is precisely why all over the world, all through history, the change that the people desire come not from the weak, but from the middle class that can sustain a meaningful resistance against the upper class. Now, in Nigeria today, it's either you are down or you are up. Take away the jackets that we all put, the white beards were wearing. If you are not up, you are down. The implication of that is that when there are issues of national importance for which the energy and time and resources of these victims of obnoxious policies are required, you can only expect a very weak response. I give you an example. Strike action or sit out or sit-in, as we used to do in the old days of CD. God bless the souls of Comrade Chima Ubani and Bekor and Sokuti, including Dr. Sylvester Odion, who would, in one sheet of paper and with less than 4 paragraphs, urge Nigerians to take a position, and it will resonate all over the country. Now, when you make such declarations, the first day, we're all out there, those of us who are veterans in these areas, you see the enthusiasm, including you are January 1st, 2012. I saw you, madam, at Ojota. The Ghani for me, where the soul of our revolutionary looms large. We, understanding the dynamics and the nuances of the game, made sure that we're moving from Yaba to Ojota in the first place, the first day, the second day, Yaba to CMS, and so on and so forth, on our feet, mobilizing Nigerians. Now, the second day, you will still see the same degree of enthusiasm, but people are already asking questions. Because the larger percentage of the people whom you expect to show that bravery, that commitment, that consistency, that perseverance, arising from their conviction, driven by their desire to change their lot, are already getting weak. Why? They eat from hand to mouth. The third day, it is not that they are not with you, but they are already asking you questions. Come, how did you come here? There's no fuel, we can't eat. How, at that point, the same ruling class would have successfully maximized and appropriated that tool against the same people, which is why they say don't leave them, just leave them, it won't be more than 3 days.
Yes.
That is a reality. So I say it is not so much about who we are, but you know the irony. The irony is that this has been the characterization of the same situation in other climes. In Liberia, they doubted it. In Rwanda, it was doubted that they are so weak to fight. Even in South Africa, for as long as it took. But you know what? When a young man, a young boy, 18, 19, sees the father die out of hunger, the sister or mother or niece raped inexplicably, when he decides to dramatize capacity much more than that age, he won't be there to understand what is going on. So it's a huge warning that for as long as, look at them, they are coming out, confessing. We used to do this, we used to do this. The implication of that, added to the army of displaced persons, orphans. There are 1,001 Nigerians today who don't know their parents, they don't know where they come from, they cannot affiliate with any place. The danger of that in a question of years is such that must go into the calculus of this ruling class that think that things will continue this way.
Mr. Topolo, if we go by this conversation so far, and that example that young man sends to us, the United Kingdom has promised about £12 million to help Nigeria entrench the implementation of open government reforms. Now, in that document that young man said to us, his contribution to overseas aid out of £7,696 is £85. So he's actually funding the implementation of that open governance reforms in Nigeria, and he lives in the United Kingdom. Keep that in mind. And let's look at the issue of transparency so far in the fight against corruption. There's a senator who is going, I think he's your client, who is in court in Lokoja for, they say, allegedly gun running. There's another senator that was suspended and the court lifted that suspension. Use these two cases, for instance. Would you say our system is even looking in the direction of transparency?